Go.
Describe each of your children in a few words.
Well, that's very hard, actually, so I won't do it. No. I think I started in age order.
Okay.
So Renee came out kind of precocious. She held her head up almost right away, was always asking questions, very naturally curious, and active, would not sleep much at night until you kind of hammered her down. Always was a nighthawk. And describe her, I think she's amazing, actually, just, intelligent, very determined, no funny faces, guys, and very educated, and self-sufficient. And right away, first I have to say everybody's just a very beautiful child. I mean, very handsome, healthy children, so that's like my main blessing. And in terms of everything else, the determination and the drive, coupled with intelligence and a natural curiosity, I think pretty much sums it up for you, of course, with the natural beauty too. But should I add anything?
Like kind?
You,
well, let's just cut to
I might
that.
say kind of.
Kind of.
Next. I can't talk about it.
Michelle's up.
No, do it.
So there, please.
That's right, Michelle. Michelle, interestingly,
Isn't yours?
I have some news.
The paperwork.
Michelle was born in Maimonides Hospital in Brooklyn, because we lived there briefly. And when I first picked up Michelle, I was nervous as hell, because Mom had some difficulty with birth. And I picked her up, and Michelle just kind of looked up at me and said, "Hey, I'm here." And she was as calm as a cucumber. And immediately calmed me down, just by her very essence of just being like, okay, look at this.
Why were you more nervous with Michelle
I don't
than
know.
Renee? Because you already held a baby.
It was a brand new little thing like that, And Mom had some difficulty, and
I didn't know that.
and you had been crying, I think. And I said, I'm not good with crying little baby. Right away, as soon as the nurse handed, you stop crying. And I held you, and you just sort of relaxed. It was unbelievable. I actually felt the tension kind of disappear. It wasn't me. It was, I think you just felt
Like emanating it.
something. Anyway, and you, of course, grew up beautiful. You were an emotional child, and very sensitive and conscientious. I remember in school, you rushed through your homework, be first done, never missed the bus, always ate breakfast and was ready to roll, and very conscientious. And then I began to see the artistic qualities emerge, and of course the humor, the sense of humor. And now, as an adult, you've just taken off in teaching, which is probably a great profession for you, and great with kids. You're very patient, which most of us would slap them around. But, Michelle, that's a little sweetheart. Bless your little heart. And she's very patient with them and really tries to teach them. And the other thing is you're always educating yourself, particularly in your field. So there's there's a curiosity about stuff. And now I think what I'm seeing is an inquisitiveness about life itself, and a kind of a way to understand life and look inward a little bit and be a little more reflective about stuff and understand relationships. So you're great.
Juan.
Oh, John, I'm supposed to talk. John is he's a unique character. He really is. I love him to death, and we all do. You're probably the most loved person in the family, including the parents. And John was just a happy kid. I gave him a little red wagon one time, and he hitched somehow. At age like 3, he hitched it to his tricycle. He did. Then he built a camper around. No, but he loaded it with wood, and I would give him a penny for any piece of wood on the lawn, and he collected, and then I think we burned it or whatever we did. But he loved that, and he was very early on mechanically inclined, and he loved to put stuff together and create kind of things that worked and had some function. He was a hard worker, and he was a happy kid. And so many events happened in his life that were tough, especially when he got the diabetes and he was young, 3 years old. And a lot changed. He fought like crazy those shots, and until he went to the NIDA, upstate New York, and then eventually Joslin in Massachusetts. But we knew we had to get him into a program where he could accept the diabetes and learn to take care of his own health, because that's. So what's the first rule of life? Everybody I taught this to, right? What is the first rule of life?
Every tub on its own
No,
box.
that's
Survival.
survival. And I had to teach him, and the program had to teach him how to survive, because I'd always be with him, and he has to accept this disease and embody it and survive. And he's done that. And now he's probably, like when the pump is invented, he's the first one to get them. And he fights with insurance companies to get the right equipment. So the idea of survival really embedded. And then we had, John was always liked adventure until today. So we'll get on the boat. And he was always, the thing I find with him, even younger, he's unafraid. He just does not really know that he can't do something. He just doesn't understand that concept. And, like my father, myself, a little mechanically inclined, but John Mark is actually, probably if he wasn't a nurse, he'd be an engineer. Because he has that quality of relationship between moving things, parts, and space. He has very good skills that way. And then the thing, John had always, because I think he had to cope with so many things, he became really good at negotiating and talking to people. And now I find with the nursing, he's become very compassionate and understanding of a lot of different things that most people don't ever see or encounter. And I think that's added depth, a lot of depth to his personality. And of course, then there's always the silly side, which we all love.
But am I kind?
Kind of. Yes, you're kind. When you decide, you're perfect.
When I decide.
Great job.
Thank you, Dad.
Thank you.
Okay, part 1.
Was
Cliffhanger.
Now we part two is in French.
No, we need a
I actually have
cliffhanger.
a follow-up question. If Renee would stop talking for a second.
Do you have the space?